Monster Forge here again, and I got this at Ollie's. It's the Incinerator, Trooper, and Grogu. More specifically, the Praise the Lord Grogu. Look at him. Got his hands up, feeling the spirit. He's just having a good day in church. Look at him. Look at him. It's like Bible camp. Anyway, this is a set. It says that their retail price was $17.99. I don't doubt it. A lot of times I see the retail prices on these things are like, you know, the original price or whatever. And I'm like, it's a little bit high. But the price of these, this is the vintage collection. They're the more articulated 3 3/4 inch figures. One of these figures now, which is the size that it's close to, you know, Hammerhead here, but they're more articulated. They're the current line. I see them at Walmart and other places now, and they're like, one figure by itself with a couple of accessories is like close to $17. It's just ridiculous. They're not worth that. Just stop buying them at that price. It's encouraging Hasbro to keep making crap expensive like that. Yes, I know it costs to make toys, but it doesn't cost that much because all you got to do is look at some of the bootleg crap that's out. And licensing, blah, 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 whatever. It's ridiculous to pay $17 for a figure that can fit in the palm of my hand and be hidden in the palm of my hand. But getting a set with the figure, a weapon, and a bunch of like flame effects and Grogu for $9.99, heck yes. This is from The Mandalorian. Was it the last episode or next to the last episode of the first season when they sent the Incinerator Trooper in to take care of them in the bar there on was it Navarro? I think it was Navarro. But the packaging's nice because you get really cool shot of the Trooper here. And it's done like the old, like the vintage packaging from back in the day whenever you get like the special sets. I know they did it with like Empire and Return of the Jedi and all. They had some of the figures, it'd be like 3 figures that come in a box set or whatever. And they had them in packaging like that. And I always thought it was really nice looking packaging. But you get a shot of the Trooper like burning up the wall there. And that shows you what you get. You get the Trooper, his blowtorch, jet of flame, a couple of burning effects, the big wall of flame thing, and Grogu. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this sucker open and see what we got. This is my first look at the contents here, because I didn't even know this set existed. This is another one of those things that snuck up on me because I don't usually keep up with the Star Wars stuff, because at retail I find them to be too expensive. Look at there, I just destroyed the package without meaning to. Stupid Hasbro paper. And what do we got? Anything else? There's nothing in there. I really wish I hadn't torn that package, but whatever. Here's the flame. And oh, another one in there. Let's see. So we've got the wall of flame. It's really nice. It's really cool. It's translucent yellow plastic, but it's got orange and red paint, like washes to give it sort of that fade. You've got the jet of flame that obviously fits onto the flamethrower, and a couple of burning effects. Cool. Now, throw this stuff to the side. I don't worry about the packaging because I don't collect that stuff. Let's see what we got here. I think everything is all in here. Yeah, there we go. Everybody's accounted for. Grogu gets looked at last because he's the best thing about this set. Before, you know, sight unseen. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. Get him straightened out a little bit. Does he have? Oh God, yeah. Nice articulation. That's one thing I will say. You know, they're expensive. These little guys are expensive for the size, but they are nicely articulated, and in this case, nicely detailed. Let's see. Before I put his weapon in his hand, let's take a look at the articulation, or just take a look at that paint job. What's nice about it is it's got places where the paint on the armor is nicked, just like the trooper in that episode. He was a pretty creepy guy when he came in. But anyway, let's look at the articulation. He's got a nice, like, his head goes back on this ball joint. Oh, okay. He's got a double ball joint. That's why it's so well done. He's got a ball joint inside the head and inside the neck, so you can make him do all kind of expressions and such. Very nice. He has a upper torso ball joint, so he can get a lot of range of motion. He gets crunch. No waist, but you get that with the upper torso. His arms go all the way around. They go out. And let's see. He has a hinge at the elbow with a swivel. It's a little tight, so be careful when you get one of these. And he's got a hinge at the wrist. His hands are very rubbery, which is good for holding weapons. And they swivel as well. The legs, it's the articulation I'm not really crazy about in the hips. It's where they have the pin. The pin is inserted into the top of the hip. I like it when it's in the middle, but I guess because it's so little, they didn't want to do that. But because the insert is up into the hip this way, to get him to kick to the side, you have to have this main part of the leg. It's got the disc in it. It has to be turned this way so you can kick it out to the side. But then you can, and I might have it. This is probably the best way for doing it. To get his leg to go forward, you have to have it turned this way. You have to really kind of adjust it to whichever angle you want it to go. It's weird. It seems like there's two different finishes on this. Like this one is sort of a flat finish on the paint, I assume, right there. And this one has mosquito. This one has a little bit shinier finish, and it doesn't want to turn. This one's kind of stuck. I have to work on this one a little bit. There we go. I got it moving. So it kicks forward pretty well, and you can turn it out to the side. And the armor plating on him is kind of rubbery, so it allows you to move them over each other and stuff like that. So you can get a pretty good range of motion with those hips right there, because his hips don't lie. He has a swivel at the upper thigh joint. He has that's a weak That's a weak joining right there. See how that whole thing moves right there? That is not the best way to do that. That's a cheapo maneuver right there. So it has a swivel. There's basically, it's that disc and peg. There's a disc right there and a peg that goes into the leg. When you get one of these, be careful with it, because that thing can snap, or, you know, that's the worst case, is if the little pin snaps, but more than likely it'll pop out of the leg. Still, just be careful with it. But it's nice because it does give you a, you know, swivel there. He's got an up and down ankle pivot and ankle tilt, so you can get some pretty good poses out of this guy. Now, accessories wise, he has is this thing detachable in any way? Maybe. Oh, is the pauldron? Okay, it's connected to the shoulder pauldron, but the backpack has the tanks for the flamethrower. And let's see, does it fit in his hand pretty well? Sometimes I find with these smaller figures, the weapons and all don't fit their hands very well, but this one seems okay. Now, here's where a problem it might lie. He's not going to hold that gun very well. Another thing, on the package art, there's a wash on the gun to make it look, I don't know, worn or whatever. There's none of that on the actual toy. But they'll tell you very plainly somewhere on here. Where is it going to be? No, I don't see it. I guess they don't even bother anymore. It used to be they'd put a thing on there saying, you know, it might look different. The toy might look different than the packaging and all, but I don't think they even bother anymore. They don't care. Hasbro. Anyway, yeah, the gun's not really, the gun is like bendy as all get out. It's rubber. Or, well, it's probably a soft PVC. Is it in parts? It appears to be made in parts, so be aware of that. I mean, it's nice looking. It's a nice looking flame gun or blowtorch or whatever, but he can't really hold it all that well. The flame effect plugs on there, and I would imagine it does like that. Yeah. So that's cool looking. I don't know if he can. Yeah, he can. I guess he can kind of stand up with it. You have to pose him a little bit, get his legs just right to accommodate. And yeah, fun. That knee is tough. Look at that. See that pin in there? I don't know if you can see it or not, but that thing is just asking to break. So be careful with it. Anyway, if you're like me, you'll probably pose him once and sit him on the shelf for the rest of his life. I wish I could play with toys, but I don't have it in me anymore. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Yeah, so the flame, if you get it propped up right, it looks like he's blowing the flame, but here's the star of the package. Look at this little guy. You see, oh, his head's articulated. I don't know if his arms are. Yep, his little arms are articulated. God, that's ridiculous. Are his little hands? No, his hands aren't. I mean, I'm not expecting any of these things to be articulated at all. If he was a solid little figure, I'd be impressed, but, oh. So he's got a little ball. Ah! He's got a little ball joint in the shoulder that pops off really easily, so be careful with that. But he's supposed to have his little arms up going, hallelujah. Honest to goodness, this is the whole reason I bought this set. I didn't really care about the Stormtrooper, but the Grogu is really cool. Anyway, look at him. Oh my gosh, he's so adorable. His little eyes are... but he's supposed to be throwing up the shield, blocking the flames from the flamethrower guy. That it can't hold his flames. Grogu's cool. So yeah, I bought Grogu for $10. Neat. He's got little footsies, which is cute. Now I think I have a new team. Yep. Watch out for these guys coming to you on Disney Plus this fall. Anyway, it's a cool set. The Stormtrooper is really not bad. There's just some quality control issues with it that the design's a little off in places, but he looks really good. The paint's really good on him. Everything looks good. He's just a rubbery... He's not floppy by any means. He's not floppy at all, but it's just everything feels rubbery on him. The joints are not great, but he looks great. The flame effects are fantastic. That gets top notch. Grogu's the best thing about the whole set. So there you go. It's the Mandalorian. It's the Star Wars Vintage Collection. Mandalorian Incinerator, Trooper, and Grogu at Ollie's for $10. Don't pay more than $10 for this set. And good night.